Synthetics by Lucas Alpi. Chapter 6. Containment. That was the core rule. When something went wrong, their job wasn't just to fix it, it was to erase it, bury it so deep that no one would know where to dig. Catherine pressed the phone tighter against her ear.
What's been done with the carcass and everyone who came into contact with it while it was still breathing?
A pause. Then the voice.
Nothing. The wife thought Stephen just overslept. When she realized he wasn't breathing, she called 911. The body's been delivered to a morgue.
Catherine was already moving.
How long was he in bed?
They went to sleep around 2 a.m. She found him at 2:55 p.m.
She glanced at her watch. 3:05 p.m.
Contained area. Call the quarantine team and tell them Alpha 3 is your location. Trace the body's path. I'll handle it from here.
She hung up, dialing again as she reached the elevator.
Lockdown level 16, Alpha 3, code 600433, Beta 3 on the south cardinal door. Tell the transfer team who flew Stephen Ang in yesterday to report to Q team. Wing 4.
A beat?
They should be in Wing 3.
3:25 p.m., 45 miles from the airport. Patricia rolled down the window, letting the warm afternoon breeze tangle through her hair as she drove. The sun hung high, washing the highway in a golden glare, but inside, her mind was steeped in frustration. Philip wasn't answering his damn phone again. She gripped the wheel tighter, biting the inside of her cheek as she ran through the mental script she'd been rehearsing. This was it. The breakup talk. The moment she'd finally tell him what they both already knew. He wasn't the kind of man she needed anymore. When she was younger, Philip had been exciting, spontaneous, passionate in the way that made bad decisions feel like grand adventures. But now, he was just lazy. No ambition, no direction. And Patricia was done waiting for him to grow up. Someone at work, a handsome, well-dressed resident, had asked her for drinks. She had turned him down, for now. Her car pulled into the hotel's parking lot, a place with far too many good memories attached to it. She sighed, slinging her bag over her shoulder as she made her way inside. Room 43, Philip's usual spot. She knocked. No answer. Rolling her eyes, she tried again, louder this time.
Philip? You're not answering my calls. Open up.
Still nothing. Patricia pulled the spare key from her bag, shaking her head as she unlocked the door. The second she stepped inside, the scent hit her. Stale air, mixed with something metallic, something wrong. Philip lay face down on the bed, motionless. A flicker of annoyance crossed her before concern.
Still asleep? Seriously?
She exhaled sharply, heading straight for his phone on the nightstand. The screen was cluttered with missed calls. Voice messages. She hit play on the first one while moving to the kitchen, reaching for a glass. First message.
Where the f*** are you? You think you're getting away with this, you stupid shit? The taxi's not gonna drive itself.
A man's voice, angry, her brow furrowed.
What the hell was that about?
Second message.
Phil, it's me. Are we still on tonight?
Patricia nearly snorted.
Yeah, well, we aren't anymore.
She returned to the bedside, hovering over him.
Really?
She muttered, setting the glass down. Third message.
Hey, me again. I really want to have some time with you. Okay, call me when you get this. Pathetic,
She thought. She should have just said it outright. Can we talk? Instead of dressing it up as, can I have some time with you? Breakups were messy, but at the very least, she owed him honesty. Fourth message.
That's 3 days already, prick. You doing heroin again? I hope that kills you. If you don't show up tomorrow, I'm going to fire you. Yes, I would do that. And I bet your pops won't mind. Not until you gather your shit up.
Patricia's stomach twisted.
3 days?
Had he really been holed up here that long?
Philip.
She called. Nothing. Her irritation was turning into something colder. She reached out, placing a hand on his shoulder. The second she touched him, something in her gut lurched. Philip's skin was cold. Her breath paused. Her fingers moved to his neck, pressing into the spot where she should have felt a pulse. Nothing. Her heart pounded in her ears.
No. No, no, no.
Slowly she turned him over. A wet, sickening sound peeled from the sheets as his body shifted. Philip's face was slack, his lips parted just slightly, but it wasn't his expression that made the air catch in her throat. It was the fluid. A thick pinkish film had leaked from his nose, streaked with red, drying against his skin. It pooled on the pillow. Patricia froze. She was a nurse. She had seen death. She had even been there for it, holding the hands of the dying, whispering comfort to them as they slipped away. But this was different. She knew he was gone before she even reached for her phone. Her fingers trembled as she dialed. The line rang once before the operator's voice clicked through.
911, what's your emergency?
Patricia stared at Philip's body, at the stillness, at the pink stain seeping into the mattress. Pink. Her voice came out steadier than she felt.
I need to report a death.
Inside the elevator, Catherine scanned the sterilized masks locked behind a transparent case, a red label for Level 17, animal testing. She pressed the release latch, grabbed one, and fitted it over her face. The door slid open to Level 2. Fluorescent white halls stretched ahead, pristine, sterile, featureless. No doors, no windows. The kind of place built to look unused by design. She turned left, then 3 quick rights. At the end of the corridor, a black door cut through the glaring white. Inside, a cluster of gray-suited technicians turned toward her, sleep-starved, hunched over monitors that flickered between surveillance feeds.
Update,
She ordered, crossing the room. One of them gestured at screens labeled 3.4, 1.3, 16.9. Agents, the ones who had handled Stephen, all quarantined.
Restlessness. High anxiety in closed quarters.
The tech said.
Reports are here.
She flipped through them, scanning for contamination risks. No airport contact. A relief, but not an answer.
anyone slip through? Have you copied all the security cameras?
No, and yes. We reviewed the footage. Transpo team went in and out as recorded. The reports check out.
Any deaths like Stevens?
No.
It was always no, but she asked anyway. Standard procedure. The underground installation was built for failures, contingencies within contingencies, secondary, tertiary, quaternary power grids, alternative exits, a failsafe if every failsafe failed. Down here they were secure, but outside, the airport, the people who had breathed the same air as Stephen Ang? Catherine's pulse quickened. Stephen Ang was clean, no symptoms. The virus was dormant. Or maybe she'd missed something, a miscalculation. Her gaze snapped to one of the grays.
Pull up the record for S-Virus 1131.
A screen lit up, lines of data, a biological breakdown scrolling too fast for most people to process. But Catherine wasn't most people. She found it, a single designation buried in the file, a name. Jupiter 2. The room stilled. Catherine inhaled sharply.
Contact Sol.
Her voice was flat, but her stomach twisted. The synthetic wasn't theirs.